Now for the part of the programme when you set the agenda. We call it Your Shout, and it's an opportunity to get in touch with anything that you feel strongly about. And this is something that's getting you talking: measles. We know it's highly contagious, spread by coughs and sneezes. And have a look, these are the main symptoms. We've had news this week that cases are on the increase. It's something that Monica Alabi, a Luton GP, feels very strongly about, and she joins us now for this week's Your Shout. I mean, Monica, how much of a problem is it for the East?
It's not as huge of a problem as it is for West Midlands, Birmingham and London, but it is a problem, and it's one that we've been dealing with for many years, the resistance to getting fully vaccinated in the right ages. But it's not a massive problem now.
Are you yourself as a GP experiencing that resistance? What are people telling you?
I mean, over the years, I have experienced that both from the policy side as clinical director of children's services back in the day, looking at the data, and actually in the clinic as well, where there is this anxiety about giving the child the MMR vaccine because of the rogue research paper that was published all the way back in 1998, linking MMR to autism, which was debunked and known to be false. But people still have a bit of anxiety about that. And it's really about educating, explaining that there is no link, and sharing resources that are easy to digest for parents.
I mean, we've seen this recent rise in cases, haven't we? Is the government doing enough to support people like you to get people to have the vaccines?
Yes, the government has actually been doing quite a lot for many years, and even more now, with the UK Health Security Agency really watching the cases, putting up temporary vaccination sites in different areas, GPs also vaccinating anyone who's ready and willing at any age, because we're having people older also presenting with measles. So yeah, the government is doing a lot to make sure that the vaccine is freely accessible to everyone. All you need to do is ring your practice, or even just go online and find temporary vaccination sites and go and get vaccinated at any age that you are.
OK, Monica, thank you very much. That is your message, I know. Thanks so much. Monica there, Tom, being quite complimentary about the government. But we were warned, weren't we, last year by the Health Security Agency that measles were expected to come back. Is there nothing more that we could have done to preempt this?
Well, I think Monica's I think what she just said there was incredibly interesting and incredibly important. This is something we should be concerned about. But ultimately, I am pleased to see that we are encouraging people to have these vaccinations.
Should vaccinations be delivered through pharmacies? Should we make it even easier?
Well, I mean, look, we saw through COVID the role that many pharmacies played in delivering COVID vaccines. I had 2 of my jabs done at Aqua Pharmacy.
Would you like to see the same thing happen with measles?
I like to see increased accessibility. So, and I think for many years, for pharmacies, their importance has been underplayed, and they haven't always been valued as much as they ought to be.
I mean, judging from what Monica was saying, Alice, it's difficult to change attitudes, isn't it? It's sometimes difficult to persuade people. What's the best way of doing that?
Well, I think, and we've touched on it, and huge kudos to the NHS staff who work so hard to deliver the vaccines. I think there is an issue of accessibility and flexibility of how you can actually get the jabs done. And Labour is actually calling on the government to adopt our proposal to allow health visitors to give the MMR vaccine to kids at home. And I think it is about looking at those angles and, of course, tackling spread of misinformation from a long time ago. But it is really important that we have a broader effort that brings people together to really get these messages out there.
Andy, would you agree with that? Of course, some communities we know are harder to reach than others.
Well, absolutely. I would encourage everyone to get the MMR vaccine. I had measles as a child, got away lightly, but my brother was actually quite seriously ill with it. So anything that encourages people to get vaccinated, I would certainly be in favour of.
OK, and that is the point, actually. It can still be a serious disease, can't it? So thanks to Monica very much for being this week's Your Shout. I'm wondering what you would like to get in touch about.